Hi, everyone. This is Aaron, and you are listening to Walnut Commentary, the podcast dedicated to the pastors and leaders at FCBC Walnut. I am here with Auntie Katy, the children's director at our church, and we are in full swing with all of the activities and ministries at our church. Auntie Katy, our church has a ministry with the population of people with special needs, both adults and children. Can you tell us specifically about the ministry to children with special needs?
Yeah, I would love to tell you about it, Aaron. I strongly believe in this ministry because there is such a need to serve the special needs population in our society. I'm so glad Pastor Wilson and a core team of volunteers pioneered this ministry in our church. For adults with special needs, we have a Sunday school class in the first session specifically designed for them. And then within the last couple of years, God brought a handful of children with autism to our church. Just the thought that God entrusts us with these children just amazes me because, we are not professionals, and yet we are given this privilege and responsibility to share with them the gospel. We've had amazing helpers from our church who accompany the children one-on-one in classes and worship services on Sundays. And we like the idea that they can be integrated into the church community as a whole. Some people may think that's a challenge to care for them, and it is a challenge, but not because the children are difficult, but the challenge is for us to change our hearts and our ways to love them as God has made them. Well, for example, sometimes a child will yell spontaneously and disrupt the class. While old thinking is that, he's disrupting the rest of the class from learning, but actually this disruption is the learning. What better way to practice love and patience and grace and kindness and all the character building that we want our children to learn when something like this happens? It's quite a challenge, I know, for the teacher and the class to adjust, but that's part of the learning. That's part of learning to be like Jesus. Sometimes the class cannot do certain activities or cannot play with certain toys in order to adjust to the ones with special needs. Well, some will see it that, why do we have to do that in order just to cater to a few kids? But actually, it is no sacrifice at all. How often do we get to practice loving someone different from us? So it is our privilege, even when we have to adjust, because we get to see God's love in a richer and deeper way. Any sacrifice that we have to make works for really our benefit and our gain. The children are growing us. And that is an opportunity we have and a privilege. And I just want to make sure that we do our best to take care of them and nurture their spiritual growth in the way that is appropriate, in the way that God has made them to experience Jesus.
Thanks, Auntie Katy, and thank you everyone for listening. If you would like to be a helper in the special needs ministry for adults and children, we have a meeting coming up on October 14th where you can meet other helpers in this ministry and find out more about how you can be involved. For more information, you can email Auntie Katy. Her email address is katy@fcbcwalnut.org. Thanks. See you soon.